What's up, YouTube? How's it going, guys and gals? This is the Atomic J, and I hate corn. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're probably thinking, Atomic J, what the hell are you talking about? But yeah, guys, it's true. I hate corn. I can't stand the taste, can't stand the texture, can't stand the smell. Hell, sometimes even the sight of the stuff kind of hurts my eyes. But no, you guys are probably actually wondering, why are you talking about corn? Well, the reason for that is, guys, is because this is going to be episode 1 of a new series I've been thinking about doing for a while. This is going to be episode 1 of Jay's Peeves. Now, if you don't know what a peeve is, the best way I can explain it to you is, say, like, you're talking to a girl or a guy or even an animal, if that's what you're into, and you're asking them questions on what they don't like about the opposite sex. Like, say you ask a guy what he doesn't like about girls, and then the guy might say, like, well, I don't like it when girls pick their noses. And then you ask a girl the same question, and she might be like, well, I don't like it when guys pick their butts. You know, so they might, it's like something like that. It's something that, like, bugs you or, you know, kind of annoys you to some extent, or even sometimes to a great extent that, you know, it's just like a deal breaker in a relationship or whatever. But this series is not going to be much about relationships, or it might even be about relationships. This series is more dedicated to you guys, getting to know you guys a little bit more. This is going to be an episode where we pretty much talk about things that bother me about real life stuff, or, you know, video games, or anything that I feel like talking about. You know, and like I said, this is going to be pretty much hopefully a way to get more in touch with you guys. You know, what I really want to come out of this is that you guys, you know, get in, you know, listen to these commentaries and, you know, write back or comment and, you know, let me know what your opinions are, something that I should even talk about or cover, if that's what you're interested in. You know, that's what I'm really hoping, and that would be really awesome. In these commentaries, I'm not going to talk about gameplay at all. It's going to be me just talking about anything I feel like talking about this day, or anything that kind of bugs me. And so, sorry, there's an ice cream truck going outside. Maybe I should get some ice cream. But yeah, so I'm going to be, you know, hopefully what I'm not going to try. I'm going to try not to be rude or, you know, racial against or sexist or anything in these commentaries. I'm trying to be nice and, you know, account for everybody. But if I do offend anybody, I'm sorry. You know, I'm just trying to, you know, voice my opinions on certain subjects, and if you guys you know, find it offensive, I apologize. But yeah, so that's, now that I got it out of the way, I got the specs for you guys in this new series I'm bringing you guys. As you guys have probably already guessed, episode 1 is going to be on corn, amongst a few other things. And you guys are probably still wondering, like, why is corn such a big deal to you? And that is because not only did I grow up hating this stuff, I also live in a small little town, a small little farm town in California, and I work in a grocery store. And in this grocery store, I'm a produce clerk, and the produce clerks are basically the guys who deal with the fruits and vegetables and stuff. And one of those vegetables so happens to be, you guessed it, corn. And I deal with it on a daily basis, and like I said, I live in a small little farm town, and my farm town is famous for, you guessed it, corn. I mean, we even have a little corn fest, which is like a little festival of corn every year in my town. And you can imagine it's kind of ironic because a guy like me who hates corn this much lives in a small town where they celebrate it. Like, you know, it's kind of funny. But yeah, so anyways, in this produce department of mine, I'm constantly asked every day for corn. And there are some days where we don't have corn, and so I'm bothered even more on those days. On days that we do have corn, I'm probably asked about maybe 8 times, even though it's like probably right in front of their faces and they can see it. They still ask me anyway, just to ask me. I don't know why. But on days we don't have it, like when the warehouse doesn't send us some because sometimes they mess up our order, we don't have it. And I think the most I was bothered when we didn't have corn one day was, I think, around 22 times, no lie, by different people, obviously. And it's kind of funny though, because on one of those occasions, this lady was really mad at me. Like, I told her, like, oh, sorry man, we don't have any corn today, the warehouse didn't send us any. And she really flipped out. Like, it was crazy because see, she was getting so mad over corn. And I was just like, lady, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. The warehouse didn't send us anything. I can't do anything about it. I can't travel to the warehouse and get some corn for you. And I didn't say it like that. I pretty much just had to, you know, nod your head, whatever, you know, because if you do that, you pretty much get you fired. So I just said, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. If you want, you could talk to my manager and he'll handle it, and yada yada, because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So I you know, directed her to my manager. My manager was listening to her, and he was like all apologetic too, like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry that, you know, we don't have any corn, yada yada yada. But I can tell in his mind he was probably like, lady, Leave me alone. You know, that's just the instances I have with corn. So you know, you could probably get a little better idea why I hate it so much. Um, but yeah, so that's pretty much how I feel about corn. For you corn lovers out there, I'm sorry, but you have a horrible taste in vegetables. But anyways, that's how I feel about corn. The next thing on my list I actually want to talk about is regarding something to Black Ops and maybe Modern Warfare 3 if they have it in there. It's gonna be on the file share system. Now, as you guys know, I cap most of my games from file share or recent games or whatever on Call of Duty Black Ops. And there are many instances where I have experienced some lag in the actual file share. Like for instance, it doesn't save, or it, like when a host leaves in mid game, it like splits the game in two, which is kind of dumb because there have been so many instances where the host has dashboarded and I haven't been able to save. I wasn't never able to save that game. Like there's actually two instances I could think of right now that would have been perfect games for you guys. Like I think this is probably one of the perfect sniper games I ever had. These two I'm gonna tell you right now are. One game was on a team deathmatch on Hazard. And this game was really awesome because not only was the fact that I was running a 2-bar connection, I was quick scoping like crazy. There were times where I would jump off like a balcony or something and I would kill like 4 guys, turn around, no scope one dude, turn around, throw a tomahawk randomly in the air and get a buzz kill. And that did happen. No lie. Like you guys probably still thinking like, oh yeah, right. But no, I'm serious. It did happen. And I wanted to bring you that game. But as the game was winding down and it was 72 kills, so that all we needed was 3 more kills to win the game, the host dashboarded. So that game was lost forever, which, you know, kind of sucks because I was really looking forward to bringing you guys that game. And the other instance actually that happened was because I was playing a little free-for-all too. It was a free-for-all on Zoo, and I went 30-1 sniping. And when I mean sniping, I mean sniping. I sniped the whole game, 30-1. I had my Blackbird dogs or whatever helping me, you know, but I sniped the whole time. Because I had my L96, I ran out of bullets on that, and I ended up picking this guy's ACOG L96 up. So I was just sniping the whole time, and it would have been an epic gameplay for you guys. But thanks to file share and Treyarch's trolling system, I was trolled, and now you guys will probably never see that again. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. But yeah, so hopefully in Modern Warfare 3 they'll fix it or make it a little better so it doesn't like lag up, or when the host dashboards or leaves or whatever, it won't mess you up the game. Or, you know, it might even not be like that if they have dedicated servers. So, you know, we'll never know until the game's actual release. But, you know, that's how I feel about the file share. Hopefully, you know, they'll fix it, but we'll see. The next thing I want to talk about really quick is my in my job. There's another instance where I've actually been bothered for things, and this is actually because I've been bothered if I speak Spanish. Now, I live in California, as I just said, and I have, you know, we're on the border of Mexico, so we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people coming through my job on a daily basis. And most of those people ask me if I know how to speak Spanish. And some of you guys might be like, oh, that's not a big deal. But no, it is a big deal for me because I'm half black and half white, but I look a little Puerto Rican. So I'm constantly asked if I know how to speak Spanish, and it's just annoying because they always come up they say the same thing to me. Habla español? Habla español? Habla español? I'm like, no, I do not understand Spanish, and they just like completely dismiss me and be like, oh, all right then, and they walk away because they don't know how to speak English. They just speak Spanish, and like, oh, okay, whatever, bye. And so I'm like, oh, you know, it's just annoying to be confused for a different race when you're another race, you know. But yeah, guys. This game's gonna come to a close really soon, but you know, I really am hoping this series takes off. I hope you guys enjoy it, and like I said, leave a comments, you know, messaging me and letting you know maybe what I should talk about in these commentaries, because you know I want to get your guys' opinions, and you know if you guys agree with me on on the subjects I talk about, you know, any kind of feedback would be awesome, and I might even talk about it. But anyways, guys, this is gonna be the game. This has been the Atomic J. I hope you guys enjoyed. You know, let me know how you feel about this series. And you guys have a nice day. Peace.